Hey guys, I'm Tom from the Lens Depot. Today we're going to be talking about our Ikelite underwater housing systems. So let's go ahead and get started with the basic components. When you rent the housing, it does come without any sort of port. If you take a look at the underwater housing section of our website, we do have a couple of ports that we offer depending on the lens that you need. You'll need to take a look at each port individually and it will list all of the compatible lenses. So this is one of our ports here. And we're going to be installing a 35mm 1.4 Canon with this and a 5D Mark III. So when you add the port, please make a note of which lens that you're going to be using so we can provide the proper focus gears as well as the clamps if your lens needs it. So when you first open the housing, you'll have the housing itself, your port, and we do also provide a silicone packet. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get the housing prepped. Now, when you're taking the housing apart, we recommend taking off the top clamp first, and then we recommend both side clamps at the same time. Now the clamps have a little clip at the top. What you'll want to do is depress those in and then pull up. So that will allow us to take the back portion of the housing off. Now with the silicone gel, you'll need to prep the seals. There's two seals on the housing. There's one for the back of the camera. These are also called O-rings. And there's another one on the port. What you'll want to do to prep these is take just a little tiny bit of the silicone gel and put it on your index finger and your thumb. And then what you'll want to do is rub the O-rings through until they're evenly lubricated. This is just going to make sure that they're not brittle and that they're preventing any sort of water getting into the housing. So once we've got that, that's all set. Now if you're re-lubricating the seals between shoots, it's always very, very important that you want to make sure that there's no sort of sand or anything on this. You want to make sure that it's completely clean so that way you avoid any potential mishaps with the housing. Once we have those set, we'll go ahead and install the O-rings. And then these are all set. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the 5D Mark III. If this is your first time that you're using the housing on location, we do recommend installing the housing together without any sort of camera first and doing a dunk test just to make sure that everything is good to go. Once you've done your dunk test, then we're ready to add the camera. We've got the 5D3 here. Now there is a hot shoe. What you'll want to do is slide that into the camera, and then underneath we have a standard tripod mount. You'll want to line this up with the camera. We'll go ahead and install that. Once that's tight, make sure everything is lined up. And then we're going to go ahead and insert this into the camera housing. So just want to go very smooth, make sure that the TTL adapter for the flash, that cable doesn't get pinched in the side. And sometimes it's there we go. Now when you're clamping the housing together, you want to do the exact opposite direction of what we recommended earlier. You want to clamp these two down first, and then clamp the top down last. Once the back is in, you want to make sure that the O-ring is evenly pressed around the outside of the housing. If it's all set, then you're good to go. Next, what we're going to do is take off the front clamp, which is where our lens is going to go. Once you have this installed, you'll want to take the camera body cap off and install the lens. Now, if you're utilizing the focus gear, what you'll want to do now is add the necessary clamp to the focus ring. This particular lens is going to fit without any sort of clamp, so we're all set there. We'll just go ahead and insert this over the lens. And then when you insert the focus gear, you want to make sure that this lines up with the teeth right here on the focus gear. Next thing we're going to do is take the lens cap off, and then we're going to install the hood. So the hood, make sure that this O-ring is there, because if it's not, then this is a point that water can get in. You want to insert this with the short edges on the outside. Now what you'll want to do is press down. Obviously make sure that these clamps are all pushed outward. And then one by one, you'll want to push these clamps in. They should make a click sound once they're clamped down. If you look at each of these outside portions, there's yellow paint underneath it. If you see any yellow, that means that it's not securely pressed. And then you'll also want to give these a little bit of a wiggle. You want to make sure that they're not too loose. If they are, you can use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten them down a little bit, but be sure to not tighten them too much because you may strip the screw. Once this is installed, you should be all set to go. So once we've got the camera installed, you can test the functions, make sure everything's lined up, and once it is, then you are set to take this thing underwater. That does it for today. If you do have any questions, please give us a call, or you are welcome to visit our website at Depot.com or shoot us an email at sales@thelensdepot.com. Thanks for watching.